Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my September wrap-up, which is not good. Also, the light is killing me. It's pretty early in the morning because I hadn't filmed anything for a while and I didn't have anything to put up this past Friday. I wouldn't have anything to put up Sunday. So I normally kind of try to film a couple of videos on the same day in advance because I'm really bad about not doing things I should be doing. But I'm going to be filming this now and we're going to be talking about it. And I don't even know if I'm going to have an October TBR. I think what instead I'm going to do is have a TBR or October hopeful, because I am in a really bad reading slump, which you're about to see because September was atrocious. Oh my god, so bad. Probably the worst reading month I've had all year. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have a hopefuls book instead, like hopefuls video. Yeah, so make sure to subscribe to my channel to see that later. I'm really tired. You can see like the bags under my eyes. I work this weekend. It just saturated. No, what day is it? Oh god, what day is it? It's Sunday. It's Sunday morning. I worked yesterday and I'm going to work today as well, which is super fun. And lovely. Absolutely. I love that hospitals are on the weekend. I can't really complain since I got a lot of health issues and I'm definitely sometimes in the hospital on the weekends. So let's get into this awful wrap up. So first I'm going to talk about a soft DNF. Actually, hard DNF I had first was something I just tried to read to try to get myself out of reading slump. Elise Kova came out with her new like Marriage to Magic or whatever series, Duel with the Vampire Lord, something like that. I don't know, I'm gonna pop it up here. I forgot to even write it down because I absolutely hated it. I got like what, 15% into the book or 20% into the book, and I could not get into it. It was worse than the first one in my opinion, and I just really didn't like it. And I feel like I actually liked the second book. I didn't like the first one. And I really didn't like this one. I didn't even finish this one. So that's a hard DNF that I had for this month. I'm sure there's more. I would just pick up books and put them down at will. So I'm not going to have like an accurate thing of like what I actually DNF'd. I don't think I full DNF'd anything else. Because I feel like it would be down here. I have like a pile of books that I'm selling. And the second I DNF something or don't like it, I put it on that pile and immediately put it up for sale. Because if I don't like it, I don't want it in my house. But yeah, so I don't think I hard DNF'd anything else. I did soft DNF something and I'm doing it. I want to hard DNF it. I want to hard DNF it, but I'm still undecided because so many people have liked this book that I'm thinking maybe it's just because I'm in a reading slump, which I am. I'm in a very bad reading slump right now, and only very specific books have like helped me with it. But the book that I am soft DNFing for now, and so when I say soft DNFing, it's either I'm putting it away or I'm going to put it on my bedside table and then randomly pick it up and read like 2 pages and then put it back down. And then like a week later, read another 2 pages. That's probably what I'm going to be doing with this book because I'm already 100 pages in and I hate, like, I already put so much time into this book that I hate the idea of DNFing it, but it's a long book. And I'm not enjoying it. I don't like the characters. The setting is fine. I don't know. I just really am not enjoying it. But it is We Hunt the Flame. That's really sad because I've had this book on my shelf for a while. And I heard like such good things about it. And it's in book boxes a lot. As fandoms, and I just really don't like it. Like I so don't like it, and you can tell I tried. Like I'm 100 pages in, and again I don't know if it's I don't know. Like I don't like the characters. Again, like I said, the setting is okay, but I'm not even remotely intrigued by this. I feel like I've read this book so many times. Like it feels like such a generic fantasy plot line, and I feel like I literally just read this book a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. What is it called? Jade, Fire, Gold. So far it seems very similar in like one side is like an assassin person out for revenge and has issues with family, and then the other side is someone who doesn't really know who she is. but is trying to figure out her identity in this world, and it's more metaphorical for her, because in this one, like, she knows her family and she lives with her family, but she doesn't know her place because of what she does and who she is. And then the other one, the other girl's are orphans. So I just don't like it. I don't think I like these types of stories that are like travel stories. I think that's what I'm starting to realize, because I wasn't a huge fan of Jade Fire Gold either. I just kind of slogged through it, but I'm not a big fan of these travel stories where it's a lot of traveling from places to places, because I know she's gonna travel, like that's her goal, like she has to go to this place. But I also don't want to DNF it because I love young adult fantasy, so I'm so torn on this one. So this is gonna be a soft DNF for right now, and we're gonna see what happens. It may be an unhaul later, so if I unhaul it, I DNF'd it. Okay, on to the books I actually read and finished. We're gonna talk about manga first. It's literally really quick. First, I read My Little Monster Volume 1, and I actually didn't realize this, but they were on Kindle Unlimited. So I read like the next 5. I don't really like them. They're supposed to be, it seemed like they were supposed to be like a romance, like shoujo romance, but it's more along the lines of friendship, and it's very wishy-washy. Like, I don't like the stories that much where you can't tell if like the main characters actually like each other. Like, I like pining, that's fine, but like half the time he's like, oh, I don't think I actually like you like this anymore, and then she's like, oh, I don't either, and I don't like that. And that's like the whole series, and it's just constant back and forth. There's no actual like real romance in it. So this is gonna be a manga series I don't finish. I don't have any desire to finish this one, so this one is gonna go. Next one that I read is a series I've already talked about plenty of times, and I've actually already read it, but like I said in previous videos, I have read it, but I didn't own them, so, and it was like 10 years ago that I read them or something, so I am currently in the process of buying them. But I read 5 volumes of, the English version is Blue Spring Ride, I don't know how to say it, Ao Hero Ride, but I love this series. This series is so cute. It's another shoujo manga, and it's just, they're so cute. I love them so much. But I read 5 volumes, and I have 6 and 7 and 8 actually, maybe. No, maybe just 6 and 7. I don't know. I have a couple volumes on my way that are coming Monday, so I'm really excited. These are the only things that are keeping me from full book collapse, honestly, right now. The only thing keeping me from doing any type of like wallowing about my reading status, because I'm very much enjoying these. They are all 5 stars except for number 5. Because there was a lot of, I still really liked it, but the main character is going through his depressive phase. So there's like a phase in this where he starts pulling away from the romantic interest, and I was like just waiting for it, and I was like, no, no, it's this book. So there's 13 volumes total, I believe. So I'm really excited to continue. I love this series. If you don't know, this series is about our main character, who is, I was gonna say, this is our other main character. The art's a little funny on the front, but these are 2 main characters plus their little friend group, and she and him went to middle school together and had a little bit of like a little crush going on, and then he pretty much just disappeared. Turns out he had family issues going on, so all of a sudden he reappears back in high school, and she kind of sucks him into the friend group. They make their own friend group together, and it's their like cute little trying to figure out if they like each other. So it's just, it's so cute. It's fun. If you want something very light and fast and cute to read, these are currently all available. I know a lot of mangas are having trouble finding it. These are on Amazon, all available. You can buy them all now. Okay, we are to the actual books. I don't have that many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 books. I read 5 books in September. That is the worst I've done. And it was almost 6. I have the Golden Enclaves upstairs. I literally have 50 pages left in it, but I read it with my husband. Otherwise, I would be done. So we've been kind of busy. So because of that, we haven't been able to finish it. But I'm like 50 pages from finishing that one. So that one's almost done, but that's going to be going in October. So first up, and the first book that I read this month is From Below by Darcy Coates. I have a whole review out for this one. This was really good. This was a good start off to the month. I wish I had saved this for October. It is legitimately scary. It's following a group of, oh gosh, what would you call them? Explorers, I guess. and they're going down to this shipwreck that they found. No one else has been in it, and it's in this like isolated part of the sea or whatever, and they're trying to get footage for this like documentary show, and so they have to do a certain number of hours of footage. And every time they go diving, they seem to realize something weirder and weirder is going on. But this one legitimately scared me. I said it in my review, but I've never wanted to put a book in the freezer before, and I literally had to bring this downstairs and hide it when I was trying to go to sleep, because this one legitimately freaked me out. This is a really good Darcy Coates book. Very, very fun, legitimately scary. I highly recommend this for Halloween. I think this is a good Halloween one. I don't know if I said that was a 4-star. Anyway, next book that I read, I also have a review out for, and it's Killers of a Certain Age. This is one that I really, really wanted to like, and it's pretty much what I say in the review. I really wanted to like this one, and I thought it was more of like supposed to be like a cute, funny, cozy, like adventure story almost, because it's about a group of women who used to be assassins, and they're at the retirement age and they're going on a vacation together, and then they realize that they're now the targets. So it just sounded really funny from like the flap, and unfortunately I didn't find this funny at all. I didn't like any of the things that happened in it. I thought it was horribly boring, and I'm definitely alone on an island here. People love this book, so I would not take my review on this seriously. I just really didn't like it. I read a lot of cozy mysteries and stuff, and I just didn't feel the way about this that I feel about other cozy mysteries and stuff. I just didn't enjoy this one, unfortunately. 2.5. I gave this a 2.5. Not good. Not good. The next book that I read was also one that I did not enjoy and was really looking forward to, and it was The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I really hate, so I loved the first book, gave it a 5-star. The second book, didn't like it, I think I gave it 3, and then I read this one. This is a 2.75. Didn't like it, thought it was overly convoluted, didn't have fun with it. That's all I'm going to say about it, because this is really sad. I also, again, did a whole review of the whole series where I talk about why I had issues with this, so go check that out if you want to know more about this series. Again, a lot of people love this series, so I wouldn't take my review too seriously. The next book that I read, thank God I decided to read it. I ended up reading it with my husband, but it is Into Thin Air. Again, I have another review out for this. This is following, I was gonna say main character, but it's a real person. It's following John Krakauer, and he was there on the night of the 1996 Everest disaster. He was on the mountain, so he tells his perspective of what happened, why he thinks it happened, all the mistakes that led up to it, and the perspectives of all the people that he's made friends of. So this is a really, really good nonfiction book. Very, very much enjoyed this book. This helped a lot. This is a 5-star. I ate this book up. It was so good, so sad, so just emotional, and you're like sitting there going, oh, I hope this doesn't happen, but it's real. Everything happened in it is real. Before I read this one, or before you choose to read this one, I would look up, not trigger warnings, but I'd look up the real story. I'd look up the 1996 Everest disaster. There's no spoilers because it's a real life story. Just so you know who dies, because it can be very emotional and very difficult, because the deaths are kind of graphic, because that's the nature of Everest. So make sure to check that before you read. And the final book that I read this month was The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart. I picked this up because I love the podcast Morbid, and I had a difficult relationship with this book. So this is her debut novel, so I always give debut novels a little extra wiggle room, because most of the time authors don't know their writing style yet. They don't exactly know maybe what they want to write yet. They're not sure what works best for them. So most of the time their first book is going to be worse than other books that they write. And I do hope that's the case with this book, because this book was less than 300 pages. It might be just over 230. So this is about 230 pages. And you're following two different points of view. And one of the points of view is of the butcher, the bad guy. And the other point of view is the MD, oh shoot, what is her name? Forensic pathologist. So you're following a forensic pathologist and a serial killer. And unfortunately, I think this book needed to be a lot longer for what she tried to do with it. I did give it a 3. I gave it a 3. It was almost a 4 because of the ending. The ending was really bad. The ending makes me think that they're going to be doing with this what they did in like with other books lately. Do you know how lately it's a lot of authors are putting out standalones, and then if enough people read it and like it, they're like, oh, it's a series. I think that's what they're going to do with this. This seems like the start of a series. But I'm going to need more out of this series. I'm going to read it because I did enjoy it. However, I felt like I didn't learn enough about our main character, and I felt like I knew the killer more than I knew our, like, heroine, which I didn't like. I didn't really like that. I did guess the twist, but I thought the twist was really good at the same time. It was a really smart twist, and it was impressive the way she handled it as being a new writer, because it's a difficult twist. And again, like I said, I did enjoy it. The ending was really bad if it's a standalone. If it's a standalone, it's atrocious. If it's not a standalone, 3.5. 3.5 stars. But I'm going to need to know more about the main character. I want to know more about the heroine. I want to feel more attached to them. That was my biggest problem, is I didn't feel attached to anybody. And I enjoy feeling attached to characters when I read these types of books. So it was fine. Not as good as I was hoping it would be, but I still had a good time. And I am hoping for a series. I really hope for a series. But that's all I've got. I think this is the shortest wrap-up I've ever done. And most of it was spent talking about the manga, I think. But yeah, it was a really rough reading month. I have been having a couple more back problems this month. It hasn't really been getting better, and so we ended up buying a new mattress, and the mattress is still trying to break it in. We're still trying to break it in, so that's super fun. It's super fun. But otherwise, I am currently, I was supposed to read, there's like pretty much no books in my TBR from my September TBR that I actually read. I think maybe one. I didn't even read my book of the month. I read one of my book of the months. Disaster. But I am currently trying to trudge through Court by Tracy Wolff. Not going great. I'm about to finish The Golden Enclaves, like I said, and then I am also currently reading Runtime by Catherine Ryan Howard, I believe, and it's okay. I'm 100 pages in. It's a little slower than not much has happened in the first 100 pages, but I'm currently actually doing a thriller vlog to try and get me out of this reading slump. So I'll be reading a lot of thrillers. Hopefully on my next wrap up you'll see a bunch of thrillers that I read in that video, but we'll see. We'll see. And now that I've mentioned it in this video, I actually have to finish it. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry about how bad this wrap-up was and this reading month was, which is why there hasn't been that many like review videos that I normally do, or as like relevant review videos. I feel like I had a lot of past books that I reviewed or read. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.